Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna. Today is day number 9 of my 12 days of Christmas in July. We are going to be doing, as you can see, a Noel layout. These are just the cardboard pieces that you can get at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. These ones happen to be the 8 inches high, so that's the height these are, and you can get them different heights. You can get them in wood. I've been meaning to do a project like this for a long time. I always liked the Noel signs and stuff, so I'm gonna make it so I can either let it stand up on its own, or I will be able to hang it on a wall. So I'm just going to kind of offset them together so that like the L and the O will be able to stand up, I believe. That's what I'm thinking anyway. But I almost like them just kind of kittywampus too, not necessarily being able to. So I guess the final decision will be made when I glue them together. So I have chosen, let's see if I can find the extra piece here. This is an older paper, and it's beautiful, and that's why I have some. As you can see, the glitter on the bottom, and then all the little circles up there that look like snow are all glitter. It's a village. This is Sugar Plum Sparkle item SP1001. And it is a My Mind's Eye, and it's from 2016. So it's an older one, but I purchased because I liked it so much. I purchased several sheets of this. So when I find something that I really like, I try to do that if I can. I try to bulk purchase. Some things to me are just timeless, and this is one of those type of things. Something I love the colors, and I can use it in many different projects. So what I did was I took 2 sheets, and I kind of figured I wanted this deer in there. So I just kind of took my thing and I actually laid them out. So as you can see here, this is my end. So I just took it and I kind of sat it on top like that, and then I traced around with my pencil to get my end. You can see all the trace marks. So I did the same thing with all the other ones. And with my O, so I went over here with my O, and I decided I wanted to keep the village part. So with my pencil, I stopped here, and then I drew around here. So I just kept this out like this. Actually, I moved this, yeah, like this. And then I just drew around it and stopped where I wanted to stop cutting. Okay. So that's what I did with my O. And my L was on another piece of paper. And I did the same thing with that. I just laid it out where I wanted to get it. And then I cut out, left the village. Now you can see my line down here where my L laid on the paper. So what I want to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to slice that little bit out so that will actually be visible like an L line. Okay. I mean, you can tell that's an L, but once I remove that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Got my little mat here, and I'm going to grab a blade and a ruler that has a metal edge. And I just want to, and I'm not going to do the full thing, but I just want to slice part of that out, maybe like there. And I'm just going to slice just a little bit above that. And stop. And then that will just pop out there like that. And I'm just going to double check that here. Just a fine line. Don't need a ton. And that will create just that nice little look there. Okay. Set that in my way. All right. So now, when you see that, you can see that line there. So that will help define, that a little bit. Okay. All right. So now I went ahead and I painted the edges with Apple Barrel Key West 21481. And then once that dried, then I used the Moxie glitter glue and I painted that on and let that dry. So, and it is July, so I painted it outside and it dried up really quick. So I'm just going to use my art glitter glue for this. Whoops. And I got to remember, I don't need to put glue on that because that's going to be up in the air. So actually, my glue line will be below here. And we are up a little later today. The video will go up a little later because I had it ready to go. And then the grandkids wanted me to come up to the pool. So I went over, and then I got home and my husband said he was ready for a swim. So then we got back in the car and went back over there so he could swim with the grandkids. They like it when Papa can come swimming with them. So just got home. Yeah. So if you hear a little noise, that's him. So there. So we got our L done. Let's go ahead and pull up our E. And this one, I kept the deer, and I cut out around the deer there like that to keep that. I thought that would look nice. I love these. My crafter missed the teals, as I've told you before. And my favorite color is either the teals or pink. I love pink. And so I quite often, oops, there I go wanting to glue the deer now. I don't need to glue the deer. Just the E part. And these actually cut up pretty good. I used my trimmer for the straight lines to trim away most of the straight line part. And then I just hand cut the rest. Like I used my trimmer to cut the straight edges like that. And then for this part, I went in with my scissors because my trimmer has a rotary blade and it wouldn't play very well with those areas. At least not for me anyway. I'm not that talented with it. Same here. I just used the rotary trimmer to trim that and that side. There we go. And O, same thing. I just used for the flat edges of the O. That's all I used the trimmer for. Gives me a good base to start with. And I don't have to hand cut so much. And then of course I hand cut the inside fussy cut around the buildings there. But it didn't take me that long to get those ready. Once I decided, it actually went pretty quick because I just kind of traced around them and it went very easy. So I just sat them on just like I was gonna, just like this. I just sat them right on the paper and traced around it, and because I could tell they were, the same pretty much on the top as they were the bottom. So I thought it was safe to do that. And I also trimmed out around my pencil marks so that I erred on the side of caution because I can always go in and recut. So we will do the end together. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to trim right just about on my pencil line there because I know my pencil line is outside of the size. And that way I can cut more than once if I need to, but I'll be safe if it's right on. And then we'll do this side. So they all went pretty easy. And then we will erase any extra lines we have. And I'll show you something here in a second. All right. So now you can see down here my pencil line, and it's run on an angle. It's because this was run on an angle. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this, and I'm just going to lightly trim that, leaving the pencil line just to make sure. And then we're going to do a test fit. And I can kind of hold it. Yep, and I got to trim off on this side too. So I can see my pencil line there. So I'm going to go in here and just kind of trim that off. And then we'll test it again. Okay, and I'm going to flip it over and look at it from the back. Make sure I don't have a ton of it. Oh yeah, got plenty there. Got plenty there. All right, let's see here. That's good, that's good. Okay, I'm going to set it down. And then I'm going to lightly draw again on the inside there. And right on this edge. And right on this edge. Okay. So now I can see more lines, but I got to trim off. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to save that line again. And this time we should be pretty good. Let me see if I can get a hold of this and do this like this. Okay. And just a little bit on this edge here. And get my scissors down there. Just a small edge there. There we go. All right. Oops. Whoops. I'll get it. Can only go on one way. Okay. All right. Let's try that. Now you can see the little houses there. I put together a few of the houses and got them ready. So I thought I wanted to use those houses in a project for Christmas in July. And since this has the houses in the scene, I thought we'd just incorporate both of them. So let's see. Hopefully I got this right. And I don't have to cut a whole another sheet to make sure that I do. Looks like pretty good to me. There we go. All right. Perfect. So now when we put them together, see the nice scene across there. Now these houses are from the Tim Holtz Thin Let's Die 664741. These are still available out there. I see them online all the time. And it's the Paper Village. So it's just little tiny houses, as you can see. So I've got a little church here with a silver roof. And then just one of the craft. I've got a pink house. I've got a white house with a silver roof and a little green door. And another craft one. So I think my church is going to sit over here, I believe. That's where I was going to put the church. I think I was going to put the church there. And then I've got two houses here and a house here. And then I've got these little tiny trees. They're mini trees. And it was a pack of 8 from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree last year. So I'm going to go ahead and get my houses glued on. So I know 100% sure I want these two here. And I'm going to stand this up so we can see the top. And I'm going to hot glue those on there. And I want room for, I think, a tree in between them. Kind of a tall one. Kind of a tall tree. Let's see here. This one's tall enough. Like so. Oh yeah. Now I know it's going to be hard for you to see, but as soon as I get these glued on and they're safe, then I will lay it down so you can get a better view, okay? But, all right. So the tricky part is going to be getting the glue in there fast enough so that can drip down. Okay. Like so. And as you can see, it's just about a perfect fit there. I'm just using this little tool that I have to kind of press that down by the door there. Down. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put my glue maybe in the front this time and then go around. Because it starts to drip pretty fast. Just like that. Get them both in there. Just like so. I'm just going to kind of hold it in place. Just like that. And with that sitting there, I'm going to add, I got glue strings all over me already, some hot glue to the bottom of this tree. Here we go. And we're going to put that right in the center there. Now we're going to add a little bit of snow to this too, so we'll cover up some of the glue. Let's see what we got going here. See if it's set up good enough. Now I just painted the back. I didn't glitter it or anything. Okay. So I'm going to lay it down so you'll be able to see it. Oops. Nope. Can't. That tree's not set up yet. We're going to let that tree dry just a little bit. And while that's drying, we will get this little house on. And we'll just keep putting the houses on until they're all set up, and then we'll continue with some other things. I want him dead center. There we go. I'm just going to let that stand up there. Let it drip. And now the church was wider than the top of the N. So what I did was I just created a small bottom insert for it and glued that in. So I'm just going to put hot glue on the bottom of that like that. Center that like so. Just happened to be that and I didn't want just another small tower building like that. All right, that one's going to go there. And then I think I'm going to put 2 trees on this side of the end. So I'm going to make sure that's straight. One tree is bigger than the other, so I'm going to put the bigger one to the back side there like that. And the littler one to the front. There we go. And I'm going to set that back out of our way. Look like that. Okay. And then this one here is going to sit here. And I've got a couple more trees here. So maybe 2 on this side here. Oopsie. 2 or 3. If I can get 3 on there, I'll do it. I'll make sure I can first. I'm just trying to straighten out the stands a little bit. Being in the package. Is this, do I have a skinnier one? Maybe a skinnier one. Nope, it's just 2. So let's go with, we'll get 2 that fit on there. Okay, so let me glue the house on, and then we'll get the trees going here. Get the trees going. Okay, I want the house over to the side here. Can't go too far over because then it starts to be on the curve. So just like that. Let that drip down a little bit there. And then we'll get the trees going. Okay. Glue on the bottom of that one. Just going to sit just like that. And then very chippy. Okay, I think just like that. Glue on the bottom of this one. Just like that. Okay. So now this should be dry enough for me to tilt that one. Just tilt them in order. The L should be dry enough. And then my N should be dry enough. I'll let this one sit up just a little bit yet. Okay. And tilt the N. That. I want this to. Okay. And then the O. So you can get a glimpse of it like that. See if I can bring in a little bit. I'm not sure how far, but bring in. Oops, too far. There we go. So those make really cute little houses for small projects. So let's bring it back out here. There we go. Let me get this stuff out of my way. Okay. So I'm going to do the snow last because that's going to have to be drying as soon as I'm done. So the snow will be last. And I think the only other thing I wanted to do was glue them together. But I also created some of those poinsettias. Now, I did them in that silver. So I used the silver tinsel that I used the other day. Just a Ranger silver tinsel. And I used my Tim Holtz Distress embossing pad. And I used Heartfelt Creations Small Festival Poinsettia stamp die and the mold, shaping mold. And I also used part of the large Festive Poinsettia stamp, die, and shaping mold. So for these ones, I used, these two are actually in the small. These sizes here are in the small one. And then these tiny ones are actually in with the big one. So they're kind of, you get like a big and a small. You get the biggest one, the smallest one, and large. And you get the two kind of medium sizes in the small one. So kind of, if you want the really tiny ones, then you have to go in the big one. So I will show you how to put those together. So I just stamped them and then put my embossing powder on and heated it up with the heat gun like you would emboss anything. I then took my glue gun and I added some hot glue to the center. Now the hot glue is hot, so it does have a tendency to reheat that embossing powder. I'm going to get my glue stick to work. So it kind of melts it, but it doesn't matter because it's in the center and it re-dries back up. I offset them just like that, and I press that down because I don't want a big gob of glue in there. I then took the small one and I offset that in the center of those, and again pressed it down. And then I took a second one of the small ones, offset that in the center of that small one, and pressed it down. Then I take my foam mat here, and that's just out of my Heartfelt's Deluxe Flower Shaping Kit. And I used the third largest ball there, and I just press in that center to help cup that up a little bit. Okay, just like that. They have a smaller kit that has less of these balls and stuff, but by the time I would bought that, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to spend the extra little bit of money and get the bigger kit rather than liking it and then replacing it later because I wanted the bigger kit. So I just went with the bigger kit, but they do have a smaller kit. I'm going to take 3 of these little silver foam balls, and I'm going to put just a dab of hot glue and then stick that in the center. Okay. Whoops, it's got my finger. It got to my finger. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So I thought those would look pretty somewhere on here, and I'm not sure where. I didn't play with them at all. So I did not play with them at all. Maybe like that, or like this. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we're going to do that. So now I have to decide how I want to glue them together. Oh, I'm so torn. I think I'm just going to do them. I want them all different. So this one's going to be higher. And then this one I kind of need touching that. And then I want these level with each other. So if I do want to just stand them up, that I can. So this has got to go up some till that touches like that. And I want to push this up higher. I'm going to glue this flower on there right now. I'm going to use my big hot glue gun, get a good amount, and I'm going to put that right on there. So I know exactly where I want that. I don't have to worry about it. These ones I'm going to wait until they're fastened together. Okay. And so these are even. That's up higher. Move it up just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to hold my fingers here, and I'm going to put hot glue from here down with my big glue gun. And woo, woo. It's like woo. Forgot I wanted it up high. There we go. So now it may leak down on my table. We'll have to see in a minute here. I'm just going to kind of press those together. Seems to be doing pretty good. All right. Okay. Now my E, like that. So I'm going to actually make a pencil mark here, a light one, so I know where the bottom of my E has to go when I pick it up. And then I know I want my glue just above this rooftop here. And I've got my mark down here. See my pencil mark? So I can go right back in there. So glue from here down to the bottom. And I'm putting it kind of in the center. Okay. And I'm going to line that up right there. And press. There we go. So far, so good. Doesn't seem to be setting it up very good here. So I'm going to let it drip down like that once and see if that helps. See if that helps. Yeah, it's still all setting up here. This one's still trying to set up too. So I might have to E6000 them, but we'll see. It's pretty, it was quite a bit of glue and it was pretty hot, so. All right. Doesn't look like I'm going to get much up there. If I do, it's going to be in between. So I'm just going to put hot glue on here. And bring you here like that. Go. Just like that. That looks pretty good. We're just going to leave that kind of set up there a little bit. Like I said, it was a lot of glue, so it's going to take longer for it to cool. If I stand it up now, they're just going to kind of slide. So while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put a dab of glue on this one here, like that. And then I want this one in here. So we're just going to dab a hot glue on that. We're going to slide those together like that. Just like that. Perfect. This is going together pretty good. I thought it might take a little bit longer, but it's not. It's going together pretty good. Took me almost all day to prep everything. So I worked at it pretty much all day long until about 4 o'clock. So Okay, so now let's see if I can see what happens when I stand it up. Okay, things seem to be holding pretty good. All right. Now I think I'm going to try to squeeze a little bit of glue between those two. And I think I'm going to be all right because I'm going to put snow there. But that glue might help hold that. Okay. Pretty level. Looks good. All right. So this is just Aleena's Glitter Snow. You can also get Snow Tex. Hobby Lobby carries that. And I am just going to use this spatula. You can use the Dollar Tree sells spatulas. I don't know if I've got any of those here. Let me see. In a pack in there. In the craft department, they have them in a pack of spatulas and little craft tools. So I am going to actually, oops, turn this. Oopsie. I'm going to slide this down here till you can see that. And I'm going to start putting snow. And it's just is really fluffy. So I'm going to just, it kind of reminds me of marshmallow cream or something. I'm hoping they'll stay together. There we go. And I'm just going to start, whoops, get down there. Get down there. I'm going to start pushing snow down and around there. More like, it's like the texture of shaving cream. Okay. And I just want this to be like drifts of snow around here. And I don't have to get a lot in the back, but I can reach it. So I want it to stay flush because I don't want a lot. Whoops, here. Too much going on there. Here we go. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit further. There we go. So then you can see a little bit better. All right. And then I'm going to have it kind of dripping down on this edge here. Because snow would do that. It would drift down, right? I'm just going to let it drift down a little bit. Like that. That's good. And then I'm going to get a little bit up against the church building there. Because now I can lay it down for this part. Because I got to have just a tiny amount for the front of the church building. Because it takes up most of that space. We're just going to do a little. Now the Snow Tex is thicker and grittier. So, all right, so I'm going to just have this coming down the edge like that. And maybe down on this edge a little ways. Like so. Just to give it a little character. Now on this side of the building, I'm going to come in here by this hole here, and I'm going to run it up against there. I'm going to stand this up a little bit so we can see it a little better. Just like that. Knock that off the side of my building there. Like so. Down around the O. In the front of the building. Out of my door. Okay. Dripping down. Makes it fun to kind of make it look like snowbanks coming down and stuff. We'll put a little bit in the crevice here because snow would always settle in the crevices, right? Crevices of the building. There we go. All right, we're going to get some by these pine trees here. Get it in there like that. Okay, I'm going to stand it up again. I just got to keep position it where I can reach it good because I don't want it on my flowers necessarily, but I want to get it up by that brown stumpy thing that they got down in there. There we go. And then I'm going to turn it so we can get from the back on that. There we go. I'm going to push some up in there. Again, get around those. And then down this side of the O. And that down there. Okay, let's see. Let's get some. Can't see down there, so I'm not worried about that, but we're going to need some on this side of this building here. And dripping down, kind of like that. There we go. And while I got this turned around, I'm going to get behind this tree here alongside the houses. Alongside this one. Okay. And I do have, again, wipe that off so it's flush. Make sure nothing's hanging over the back side. And while I'm going to do this side here too, get around the back side of this house here, the building. Okay, now I'm going to use the pointy end to get into that smaller area, I think. Let's see here. Just like that. Scrape it down. It's a tight area. That is a tight area. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let me turn it around again. Set it down. There we go. And I'm going to scoop some more out. Get the front of this tree now. And it's not going to hurt if it's on the trees. That don't bother me. Trees get snow on them, right? And I'm going to move this. I think we can lay it back down again so you can get a better view of it. And I'm just going to bring some snow along the front of this building here. Like that. Little drifts. Let's drip this down a little bit here. Like it's snow. Get the front of this building here. We drip down here a little bit. Like so. And the front of this building can have quite a bit because it's got a deeper ledge because it's a smaller one. And we gotta get in there. Scrape the side of that building there. But again. Okay. Maybe a little bit on this corner here, coming down. All right, we got that. Now I think I'm going to try to get a little bit in the corner here, but I might have to stand it up again. I'm just going to try to squeeze some right in that corner there. Like that. Snow likes corners. The corner. And we'll kind of get it to drip down here. Oops. A bit down there. Let's get some in this corner here. So we're in this other corner of the E there. And let's just kind of drip it down a little bit. And we can actually drip some down from this edge here. There. And let's get this here. So like that. Where snow might pile up like that. And okay, so now we're just going to put a little bit on the rooftops, I think. First I need a little bit more right in here. Right in here. There we go. And let's just get a little bit on some of the rooftops here. Like that. Some on these rooftops. Like that. Maybe some. Down here. Sometimes you get a little hanging off the edges there, like so. All right, like that. We're going to add a little bit to this little peak here, just like that. And maybe on this peak here. Okay. Right, down. Dripping down. Just like that, I think. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit on the trees here and there, just to get. Sometimes the snow just gets on, hangs off a little bit, right? Just kind of dragging it down a little bit to let it hang. I think that doesn't look so bad. Get another coop there like that. Seems to dry fairly fast. I haven't used this before. I usually use the other, so the Snow-Tex. So this is my first time using this, and I like it. It's very, like I said, it's like shaving cream. I'm not seeing a lot of glitter, but maybe that will show up here pretty quick once it starts drying. All right, I'm going to get a paper towel here and wipe this off. And I think that is all I'm going to do to this. I don't think it needs much more. I'm going to let it dry. Like I said, this will be able to sit on a mantle, or I probably will take some command strips, add them to the back, and hang it on my wall in my craft room. I see a glue string here, so I'm just going to grab that a second. I'm going to lay it down for you so you can get another look at it. There we go. Glue string. There. Not so bad. Now, if you want to do something like this, you're going to want to get to either Hobby Lobby or Michael's soon, because these letters disappear really fast when it gets close to Christmas. I know it took me quite a while to be able to get all 4 of them. And I think actually it was, yeah, it took, I would get one and then wouldn't be able to find one of the other letters. So it took me quite a while to finally get all 4 of them. And finally last year I got all 4, and then I didn't do anything with them. But so that is day number 9 of my 12 days of Christmas in July 2021. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. I see again that I got some new subscribers. I do appreciate it. Thank you for sticking with me and following along. I hope you give some of my tutorials a try. I try to keep them simple. If you ever have any questions, go ahead and either email me or message me right on the tutorial, and I will do my best to help you through it or to explain things better. I will be doing a 13th tutorial, and that is going to be demonstrating how to make a larger mason jar and a few other things that I want to do, more of a demonstration type thing, or tips and tricks type thing with some of the things that I've been doing. So that will be conglomerated in a 13th video, so keep your eye out for that. All the videos are linked together, so if you have not seen the previous videos, in the description box there will be a link for each of 1 through 7, and you can just click on those and have easy access to them. And if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down in the right hand corner. A bell will pop up. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified each time I put up a new video. And as always, until the next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.